Guys, good to see everybody today. We'll kind of go back from some things we talked about Saturday after the game. After watching the film and meeting with the players this morning, I think, we got a lot of positives to take out of that game from an effort standpoint and just the things, I think the energy that our guys brought, and at the same time we got tons to learn. That's the level we want to play at. That's the competition, that we want to gauge ourselves by. And when we met with our players early this morning, I think they saw that. And, we always do a positive and a negative, if you will, as we say, the good and the bad and the ugly. And there was good, but there was things that we did not do well. And we could talk about depth and all these other things, but it's just period we didn't do them well. And I think one of the best things that came out of our meetings this morning was some of our players challenging each other. And I wasn't in there for all those meetings. These are things I hear from our coaches, that they challenged each other to play to their best. And that's what we need to see. We need to see ourselves get better this week. We're trying to improve every day. But I do think that was a great measuring stick for us, just to see where we need to go and keep improving.
I guess how big of a positive sign is that, hearing about that going into a game that maybe isn't as highly pumped up as, say, Troy and Mississippi State?
I think it was huge. I think that's the message we've had since day one. We're competing with ourselves every day to get better. We're either going backwards or going forwards, really, and we believe that. And so, nothing against Alabama A&M. I mean, they're coming off a big win. They're a new staff. They're doing good things. I was impressed with them. They beat a historically really good Tuskegee team. But our job is to get better and to see these guys challenge each other. And when you challenge each other, you're challenging yourself. So some guys stepped up and did that. And so we're going to see. I would expect a really good week of practice.
Defensively, how big is the pass rush been? Just because it seems like you are getting good pressure on the quarterback, and that certainly helps all aspects of the defense.
It really does. I think, the more we can get with just those front guys, I think the better we are. But I think in a game like last week, we sometimes have to blitz and make things happen. But that's kind of how we've always been. We like to dictate to the offense when we can, and of course that was hard against those guys. Really, when we went back and looked at the film, minus the first drive, we played excellent, really right till half, and I really felt like we were going to play well after that. Let down a little bit in the third quarter, probably got a little bit tired, and then came back at the end and played well. So that's going to be a constant state of getting better. But yeah, the pass rush has been pretty good so far.
What did you kind of see from Alabama A&M? It looks like they're also showed they could stretch the field a lot like you guys did on Saturday.
Exactly. I think you've got a team with the pistol background, which is going to be able to run the ball and make you play assignment football. They really stick it in there, but that opens up the play action game. And this quarter, both their quarterbacks have really good arms. I'm talking about really good arms. Throw it deep. They've got a lot of speed on the perimeter, so we're going to have to really play our assignment, stop the run, but not give up the deep ball as well.
Did you see a big difference between the first game they played and the second game? I mean, did they find themselves a little bit?
It looked like they did. It looked like they did, that they really came out. And, I think I like what I saw out of them. Just if I was coaching their team offensively, they stayed with what they've got a plan. It wasn't all over the place. And once again, it goes back to that Nevada base of that pistol offense, which is all the motions and all those things. But, they've got a plan. They stayed with it, and then they came back the second week, did the exact same thing. They probably hit a few more play action passes than they did in the first game.
I think I heard JJ after the game on Saturday talking about the wide receivers and just about the number of guys you have who were able to stretch the field. Was that a surprise to you when you came into this program, seeing the guys who had the burner mentality?
Yeah, I think we had heard about it, but then we got in here and actually saw it, and we really felt like we were blessed, and that we've got a bunch of guys, and then we've added some guys to the mix, some young guys, a transfer. It's really a deep group, and that was kind of one of the things we talked about offensively. We didn't really show it in that first game, but we knew we've got 3 or 4 guys. Could be 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. That you kind of almost have to pick your poison. If we protect and make a great throw, I think we got guys that can really go get it, and we saw that Saturday.
Those are the guys, the 88-yard plays, the one
right.
Everybody pays attention to.
Right.
But to have guys over the middle like Nard Backman, who I guess keep everybody honest,
right.
That's as important as a guy who can stretch the field.
That's right. It's that hole where we talk about stretching it horizontally and then stretching it vertically, and that's when you shouldn't be able to double a JJ or double somebody else. And hopefully we've got a bunch of different weapons, and then with our running game, if we get it all going together, we should be pretty good offensively.
When you guys come up with a plan for for both quarterbacks like throughout the week. Do you stick hard to that plan, or do you kind of see the way the game is going and have to be basically open to changing?
I think we have an idea that this is this guy's strengths, and what we want to do every day is we want to make weaknesses strengths. So if this is something you don't do well, we want to fix that. But we go in with a plan, but I think the game, just the flow of the game, you see who's playing well, and we were talking about that this morning. That hopefully we've got both quarterbacks are both really good guys, and I think we've done a good job of explaining to them from here with the media or wherever that we expect to play two guys. So I didn't think there would be a surprise when we had to do it.
A minor thing, but that delay of game penalty at the opening of the first offensive thing. Was that one of those teaching moments?
No doubt. To come off the sideline every day and do it 1,000 times, and I don't understand how a guy can't hear the personnel grouping. Because we really know those plays about Wednesday. That's our opening script. That's why people's opening scripts are so hard to defend, because we start running those sometimes Tuesday, but for sure Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday morning walkthrough. I mean, it's just inexcusable. And so those are things that the no-brainers that we say are, this we're going to do, and we just can't, unacceptable. So little things like that are always important, and it was definitely a teachable moment.
When you're working with the two quarterbacks, the rotation in there, last year when you had to do it at JSU, that experience with you and some of the staff had that, is that a valuable?
No doubt. And I told Coach Vincent that I don't want to say that this was just what I did, but it was. This can work. There's a need for it, especially in today's game, I think, with injuries. And, we were just talking about this morning. Used to, we said this the other day, it was an 80-20. You gave your starter 80 and you gave your backup 20. We give them both equal reps because we're just going so fast every day in practice. And I think what that creates is, one, the competition, two, the expectation. That's what we did. But we did the same thing last year at Jacksonville. And then when we won a couple games with our third guy, it really showed just the need for having depth at that position, just like every other position.
If you have Jeremiah or Cody, if they go in there and they're just really on their game, do you stick with that guy? Do you stick with the hot hand?
You probably would, yeah. I mean, I think we went in with the idea we were going to go with Jeremiah this week on the third series no matter what, but now I think we're kind of who's playing well. It doesn't mean we wouldn't get the other guy in, but if that guy just had a super hot hand, you'd probably stay with him.
What's the ratio of run to pass that you would like to see?
That was kind of that balance question. This is always my balance to me has always been what's there. And let's use Mississippi State for an example. You get enough 6'6", 250 guys up in the box, and you're blitzing them, and you're corner blitzing, and you're doing all those things. It's going to be hard to run. They're going to get some big plays. We've got to be able to take advantage of that. And and I don't want to say unsound because obviously it's been very sound for them, but they took some of our running game away. And so when that happens, it may get skewed the other way. And that's what, to me, that's what balance is. Balance is being able to do what we need to do when we need to do it, or whatever you're going to give me. If you're going to take all the running game away with enough guys in the box, we got to be able to throw it. If you're going to be soft and back off and be safer, then we got to be able to run the ball. And then sometimes you just got to be able to mix it up. To me, that's what I see as balance. I really don't have a true number. It usually works out to be pretty even. I would always say we're probably going to run it a little more when we throw it just because of physicality and finishing games off, but we really just want to be able to do what we need to do to win.
What are you going to do this weekend?
That's a good question. We'll see. But I think we go in with a mindset we need to be able to do both. We need to be able to do both. We got to be able to run the ball, and then we got to be able to take our throws and take our shots when they're there. And and that was kind of what the Troy game was. We really established the run, and it was there. And it's kind of like the quarterback situation. Why would you change? And we explained to our receivers that. But the thing about being a team, and we talk about this every single day, that's the ultimate goal. That's our only real goal. And I'm fine with guys having individual goals as long as that doesn't supplant the team goal, which is the reason we're here. And that's to win and be successful as a team. And that's what success is for us.
Coach, is there an aspect of the A&M defense that concerns you?
Yeah, I mean, like I always said about being a defensive coach, I'm concerned about everybody we play. I think they're playing well. They played really well this past week. they're kind of like us. You know, they're going to get better, I think, as they get together. I think anytime you've got coaches who are at an institution, it's always important to them. You know, they've got some former coaches from here. It's important to come back and do well from guys you work with. So I think that's a motivator for them. And just like us, it's the next game. But defensively, they're very athletic and move around, you know, very aggressive, you know. So we'll have to do our job offensively.
Coach, after looking at the video, do you feel comfortable with improvement in all areas, or are there some areas that you felt maybe went a little bit backward?
I don't think we went backward. I really don't, but just because of the nature of who we were playing. I think that was, just to be honest, you know, there were some times where we just, some physical plays, but at the same time, we're not going to make an excuse and just say, you know, that guy was better, or they had two guys that were just alike at the same position. So I want to see, you know, all those things put together this week and us be really technically sound. Yet we're not overlooking Alabama A&M. I mean, it's all about, for us, it's the next day of practice, the next game. We just need to play really well this week.
I guess it's one thing to say that, but to see the way the players responded in their meeting this morning, the way they're going to hit practice today,
Yep.
That's something you need to see.
That's the proof in the pudding. That's exactly right. I mean, that's talking is good, you know, but doing it is what we're talking about. You know, that's it. And for them to, I think, to show that it's that important, and I think we saw that in how they played, how they finished the game. You know, we're fighting for the ball at the end of the game. That's who we are. That's who we're going to be from, you know, as long as we're here. And that's what I want to see today at practice.
Any serious injuries, more serious than you thought immediately after?
We're a little banged up right now. We're still waiting to see on a few guys, but I mean, hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be okay. But you know, that was the worry in that game. You know, just it's such a physical game, physical bodies coming at you. But you know, we may have a few guys that are limited right now, but I think we may be okay.
Anything else for Coach? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.